Hey YouTube, this is Miss Lane of the Night, and I wanted to do a quick video to talk about the things I went to, or the places I went to today, and what I got from each different store. So, today I was looking for, excuse me, I was looking for a pendulum, and I needed to restock some herbs. So, I first went to a kind of like vintage, you know, just a random place, just like a thrift store. And I was looking for something to put my charcoal in so I can, you know, make my incense and all that kind of stuff. So I found a cast iron pan, which is just a small one, but it's a perfect size, I think. So this is the pan. And you can see, like, it's not that big. It's been greatly used, obviously. But I bought this for $8. It was like $8.50 with tax. Came to $10. But this is a great deal for a cast iron pan. So I'm gonna clean this and cleanse it, and I'll go ahead and use this for probably all of my herb working with, you know, spells and burning things and that kind of stuff. So that was a good deal for that. And then I'm going to go ahead and move the camera down and I'll show you all the herbs I bought. So, it's my billowy shirt. So this is all of the stuff I got. Sorry. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit. This is rose batons. They smell wonderful. And this is, I believe, 1 ounce, and this was $2. It's a pretty decent sized bag. Pull it away a little bit. So that one was $2. I got some more basil. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see better. Oops, wrong way. There we go. So here's some basil. This one was $2 as well. It's a pretty good amount. I believe these are all 1 ounce bags. I'm not sure. They might have given me a little bit more because I did buy a lot. Here's some peppermint. This one was $2. And this store is called Spirit Apothecary, and I believe you can go online and purchase their stuff on their store website online. And they have like the greatest amount of herbs that I've seen at any store around me. So I think if I can't get to them, I'll still buy from Mountain Rose Herbs, but I just wanted to be able to find somewhere local that can get stuff. So here's lavender. This one was $2.50. Here's a small one of coriander seeds. Excuse me. This one was, I'm not sure how much he charged me for this one, but this one's also 1 ounce of seeds. I needed more frankincense. This is 1 ounce, and this one was $1.99. It's a tiny little bag. Here's some rosemary. This one, $2. Here's some angelica. This one was $2.25. These all smell amazing too. Here's some myrrh gum. This one was $1.99. I don't know if you could see that. Here is a bag of oregano. This one was $2. That's how big this one is. Here's some mugwort. This was $2.50. Some fennel seeds. This one was $2 also. Most of these are $2, obviously, as you can see. Some chamomile. This was $2.25. And I especially got some of this because my mom has been sick lately. So I think I'm going to make her some tea. So I got all these herbs, and I got this heart-shaped tea infuser. I don't know if you can see that. Here, I'll take it out of the box. If I can get it open. Pretty nice size. I thought it was cute because it's a heart. This was $2.99. I guess it opens like this. Maybe. Oh no. Here? Yeah. Ta-da! I'm very easily amused, so I apologize. I've never made homemade tea before, so I figure, you know, I have this, and then I have one of those, it's kind of like this, but it's on like a spoon that has tongs at the bottom of it. So I don't know if like I'm going to use this one to loan out to her and just, you know, make whatever whatever concoction I want inside of it and let her use this. I haven't figured it out yet. But if anybody has any tips for homemade tea, let me know. Here's some clove. This one was $2.25. This smells amazing. Some dillweed, $2.25. It's a lot of dillweed. Cinnamon chips, $2. These are pretty fine, so there's a good amount in there. And the last thing I got was, oops, dropping it, cumin. So this was, I'm not sure, I think $1, $2. I'm sure it's $2. Everything else is $2. So those are all the herbs I got. Oh, and then I got, they have, I don't know if everyone, here I'll move this up really quick so you guys can see me so I'm not talking to nothing. Sorry, that's zoomed in, wrong way. Alright. I don't know if you guys go to like the stores locally around you, but in all of any kind of metaphysical store I've been to around me, they have really great smelling incense. So the Fizzy Pop is my favorite. So I bought 10 of those, I think. So I ended up spending more than I wanted to today. But just on herbs and the incense and then the tea infuser, and my boyfriend's daughter got a necklace, spent $50. So that was all that stuff. So now I'm sitting here thinking, you know, that's $60 just at 2 stores. It's all for the cause though, right? So that's that. So this is the first store we went to. The pan I got from that thrift shop. And then, so I've been wanting to buy a pendulum, and I couldn't find one that I felt I was connected with. So there's another store that's by me, and we decided to go to that one. And you know, we walked in, we were looking around. I actually bought a poster that I'm putting up. I put it up in the other room because I'm gonna try to move my altar from the bedroom to the other room. So I pretty much just hung up the poster, and then my herbs poster I got from Mountain Rose Herbs. But this, hold on, I took a picture of it. I made it my background for my phone. This is the picture of the poster that I got. I'm absolutely in love with it. I think I want a tattoo of some kind of it. But that, I don't know if you could see it. Let me try to darken it a little. That's what it looks like. It's so pretty. So I got that poster. It's hanging up in the other room. And then as we were looking around, I was like, you know, I know they have pendulums here. I've seen them before. I've never bought one though. So I asked if I could look at them. And I didn't even ask him to pull each of them out. I just looked at one, I pointed, and I said, I want to look at this one. So I showed everyone a picture on Facebook of what it looks like. But this is it. I don't know if you could see that. You know, my skin is kind of the same color of it. This is a orange, how do they describe it? An Orange Elestial. And so, as soon as I picked this thing up, like instantly, Gabby, I know what you're talking about when you say your back tingles. Holy crap. I have never had this feeling ever in my life. As soon as I picked this thing up, it started spinning like crazy, and the tingles were all over the place, very intensely in my back, down my arms. It was crazy. I never felt it before in my life. So as soon as I felt that, I was like, okay, I'm taking it. It's mine. So as I was there, they have a crystal Bible book, and you know, the guy had said, I'm not familiar with this stone, I'm not really sure what it is. So we both looked it up, and in the book it says, an celestial has many natural fermentations and folds over a multi-layer crystal. It is gently flowing energy that removes blockages and fear, balancing the polarities and opening the way to necessary change. Sustaining and conforming? Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. It is helpful in overcoming emotional burdens and in connecting to the eternal self. This crystal can take you into other lives to understand your karma, or deep into yourself to give you insight into the spiritual processes at work. I can't even begin to tell you how crazy that is, because, you know, we got home and my boyfriend lay down and took a nap, and I had printed out the charts that Tequila had sent me in an email for the pendulum, because I didn't have one, but I knew that I wanted that to be part of divination that I used. So I printed that out, and I used this one that has the letters on it, and I wrote myself, you know, don't want to answer, no on the bottom, yes in the middle, and then maybe. This is just temporary though, because I plan to buy a pendulum board from Sunshine Morning Ray. But I just wanted something to test it out. So I cleaned the pendulum like Tequila suggested over a candle, and the instructions on one of the charts said that you should do it up to 9 times if you feel like it's not clean yet. So I did it the first time, and it was spinning and spinning and spinning for probably, I don't say, maybe a good 2 minutes. So it's spinning, and finally it just stops. So I'm like, okay, it's done. So I asked Celine to protect me and to protect the energies around me, and to not let any negative energy and negative entities, anything like that, come into what do you want to call it, the atmosphere around me. I didn't want anything negative happening, considering I had just had that really bad dream a couple nights ago. I didn't want it to cause any more disturbances in my dreams or for our house or anything like that. So you know, I asked her, you know, it says that if it goes counterclockwise, it's cleansing the negative energy. So I asked her to make sure that everything was cleansed, and I asked if she was with me, and she told me yes. And so for me, I felt like I really wanted to reach out and talk to my grandmother, because she had just passed away a year ago, about 2 weeks ago now. And you know, it was pretty quick. She had a tumor on her head, and she had to go on for surgery, and she was recovering great, and then all of a sudden she took a turn for the worse. So her death was very quick for us, and we didn't know if she was okay, you know, if she was in pain when she passed away, none of that. So she was the first person I really wanted to speak with. So these are some of the questions that I had asked her, and this was like, besides playing with the Ouija board when I was younger with my friends, this is the most deep thing I've ever had happen to me. I was crying the whole entire time. I know you're not supposed to, well, not that you're not supposed to, but I didn't know it would affect me like this. So the first thing I asked her was, you know, if she was okay, and if she had passed over into a better place, and if she was happy, and she said yes. And you know, this is my first time using it, so I was kind of afraid of how to use the questions and how they would respond, so just kind of going slow. I asked some random things. I asked her if it was beautiful where she went. She said yes, that it was really pretty. I asked her if she was upset that she passed away before me and my fiance were going to get married, and she said yes. I asked her if she was mad that I'm a witch, and she said yes. And the pendulum was very intent on saying yes. It was going crazy. So I know that she would not be very happy about it if she was still here. So yeah, I'm very, very positive that she's not happy about that, but I'll talk to her again, you know, eventually, and talk things through with her. So in the middle of doing this, I'm asking her random questions. I didn't write everything down, but my mom calls me, and I'm like in the middle of crying, and she calls and she's like, you know, I haven't heard from you for like hours, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay, but I'm kind of talking to Grandma right now. And she like kind of gave me some dead air. And I was like, I bought a pendulum today at the store, and I was telling her about it. And so she was kind of quiet for a minute, and she was like, well, what is she saying? And so I told her, and I put my mom on speakerphone, and she was like, well, do you think if I ask some questions she can hear me? And I said, yeah, probably, because there was one part where, before my mom had called, I was quiet, and I said, Grandma, would you be upset if I turned my recorder on my phone and asked you to say something to me? Would you do it? And she said yes. I haven't closely investigated my recording yet, because I'm honestly afraid, because I have gotten a ghost voice on a phone before. That's a completely different story in video. But but in my head I'm thinking to myself as it's recording, are you done? And it went to yes. So to me it was like she was talking with me through my mind and my energy. So I told my mom, yeah, she could understand, whatever. And so I'm talking to my mom, and my dad's in the background yelling at my brother because he's not listening. So all of a sudden my grandma says, my dad's name is Dave. She says, Dave, Fran said be quiet. Fran is my dad's mom, and she has just passed away. It'll be 2 years. I started bawling my eyes out, because that's exactly what she would say to him, because she'd always bitch to him like, stop yelling at those kids, you know, even if he's yelling because we're doing something bad, she's always saying stop yelling at them, yada yada. So I started crying immediately. So then, you know, it takes a little bit of time for the answers to come through because the thing is spinning like crazy trying to figure out which way it wants to go, and the connection was so strong. My whole arm was just numb and tingly, and it was an amazing experience. But now all of a sudden, I'm talking to my grandma. I know I'm talking to my grandma. I kept making sure it was her. I kept asking. All of a sudden, my grandpa comes on. And before I started it, I had told Celine, you know, please, any family or friends that have passed away, allow them to come through. I only want to talk to them. So my grandpa comes through, which is my mom's dad. And so my grandma is kind of speaking for him, and she says, Dad sees every letter Chrissy writes to him. Chrissy is my mom, and my mom is still taking my grandpa and my grandma's death very hard, and she does write him letters all the time, whether it be a Facebook post, a letter that she just writes to try to explain her emotions, or anything like that. She started bawling her eyes out on the phone as soon as she heard that. So to me, this was becoming extremely real. And for it to be my first time using the pendulum, very intense. So, the weird thing is, later after me and my mom are going back over these, we didn't understand, but one of the messages said, Dad misses you too. And later in the conversation, my mom said that at one point she thought, I miss him so much. And I was like, well, maybe that's why it said, Dad misses you too. And she was like, oh my gosh, you know, I didn't think of that. So that was another one, Dad misses you too. At this point, we're both bawling our eyes out. And then all of a sudden it said, don't cry, love you both. Started crying even more. So then my fiance wakes up from his nap, and he walks past the spare bedroom, and I'm sitting with the door open. It's completely quiet, and it's just me and my mom. My mom's on the phone, and I'm just, you know, doing the pendulum. So my fiance walks past the room, and he's like looking at me weird, like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm on the phone with Mom, and we're using the pendulum, and I'm talking to Grandma. And he was like, right. You know, he kind of didn't understand it. He knew I had bought it, but he was just like, you know, whatever. So then I was like, you know what, get out of here, you're ruining my energy. And he started laughing, and then he mooned me, and I started cracking up, you know, breaking my energy. And then all of a sudden the pendulum writes, Clark, don't be ridiculous. Ew, E-W-E. And I started cracking up laughing. Like, my grandma is someone that definitely would say that to him. And just the way she talked, I could, instead of her spelling ew, E-W-W, she would definitely spell it E-W-E because of the way she pronounced words. But we were laughing so hard. It was so cute. And then, you know, my mom is still crying throughout this after we started laughing. And then my grandpa came through, and he said, Christinky, go to bed, stop crying. And that's what he always said to her. He always called her Christinky because her name is Christine. And we both started giggling a little bit. And of course we're still crying throughout it, but then they said, we love you forever. And that really hit both of us, because it was like, you know, we didn't know what to think, we didn't know what to feel, and it was just really sweet. And there was another thing that, actually there's a couple other things, but I'm not gonna say all of them. But there was one thing. My mom and my aunt got into a huge fight once my grandma had passed away, and they're still not speaking to this day. And so it's been a year. And then one of the things that my grandma said was, Patty loves you. And that's my aunt's name. And she said that to my mom. And it kind of blew me away. My mom, you know, she was just like, yeah, whatever. But I don't know, it's like Grandma knows that they're fighting. She knows what's going on. She's not stupid. She's not past all that. She sees what's happening. So I thought that was pretty cool. We asked a couple yes/no questions. We asked if Grandma was in pain when she passed away, and she said no. We asked if Papa knew things we were saying to him when he was in the nursing home. He had a stroke before he passed away, and so he couldn't speak to us, but you know, he would look at us and nod and stuff. So we asked if he knew what we were saying to him. She said maybe, and then I rephrased the question and she said yes. I already said, I asked if she was in, you know, in heaven and if it was beautiful for her, and she said yes. We asked if she was with other relatives, and she told us yes. And that was it. I mean, to me, that was such a deep experience, and I'm happy that I wrote these things down because I will never forget it. And now I get to sit here and try to listen to my phone and see if I did catch anything on it. But it was a great experience, and you know, I know a lot of people don't necessarily believe in that, but for me, this definitely is what I would like to do for my divination, and to try to just, not even with family or friends, but just to try to get a feel of the other side of the, you know, our other realms. So I didn't mean to make the other ending of this video like extremely deep or anything, but I just wanted to share my first experience, and you know, an herb haul, and my little cast iron pan I got. So yeah, that was my day. I don't even know what time it is, but I think, well, it's 11:42. I think I'm gonna try and do some organizing. I have a lot of random stuff all over the house. I would like to get my altar set up in the new location so I have more room to feel like I can really connect. So I hope everyone is having a great weekend, and yeah, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'm taking my little brother to see, what is that movie called? Welcome to Planet Earth or something like that, that cartoon movie. I'm taking him to go see it tomorrow because I promised him. So that's pretty much all I got for now, and if anybody has any questions or comments, I don't mind answering anything. You know, I shared all this information with you, so I don't mind any questions or anything. Any suggestions for anything would be great. Yeah, that's about it. So I hope everyone's doing wonderful and have a great weekend, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.